Are you ready for this one? I hope so, because this one's going to rub some people absolutely the wrong way. But I'm just calling it how I see it, based on data, not on drama or emotion. Trump ran on three core promises: release the Epstein files, drain the swamp, and end the endless wars. But here's what we've actually seen. He said, look, release the Epstein list. Then suddenly, there is no list. He said, no more wars. Now he's openly talking about attacking Russia. And then drain the swamp. Well, the swamp's grown fatter, louder, and more protected than ever before, it seems. Again, I'm not emotional about this. This is just an observation, not left versus right, just patterns and facts. And here's a new signal. Most people are missing this one. The Epstein file mess has now reached the FBI itself. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, director and deputy director of the FBI, are both reportedly considering stepping down if Pam Bondi remains in charge. That's huge. These are law enforcement officers with reputations built on order, loyalty to the law, and zero tolerance for political games. And now they're on the edge of walking away, and that screams one thing: loss of trust. If they don't want to be tied to what's happening behind the scenes, well, what does that say about what's actually going on? And when I zoom out, based on structure, precedence, and personal experience, it starts to feel a little bit scripted. And here's my personal take. It's not a belief, it's not a claim, it's just what the inputs are spitting out when I look at it all. Trump came in strong in 2016, but maybe it was too early. The system wasn't broken enough yet. So Biden gets 4 years to run it into the ground. Now MAGA's desperate to save what's left. And suddenly Trump starts reversing, or so it seems. It reminds me of what I witnessed in Eastern Europe. NGOs came in, flipping governments, backing fake conservatives who'd win public trust, and then they'd flip the script overnight. Same playbook, different players. And here's a flashback that puts it all in context. Iraq, WMDs. Everyone remembers Saddam had his weapons of mass destruction. Everyone remembers that. But what most people don't know is those WMDs, they were ours, American-made, supplied during the Iran-Iraq war. And when Saddam used them on the Kurds, pressure mounted. So he told the U.S., look, push me too hard, and I'll expose who gave them to me. Well, we couldn't have that, could we? So we invaded, not to stop Saddam, but to cover our own tracks. And who led the global PR campaign? Netanyahu. He pushed the WMD story so hard, it forced America's hand. Why bring this up now? Well, because that's what the machine does. It tells the public one thing while the truth hides in plain sight. Same thing now. Even Doge, what looked like freedom, was just a data funnel. And if even the FBI brass is backing away from this administration's handling of the Epstein case, well, we're not just watching history, we're smack dab in the middle of it. So what do we do? Like, do we sit and watch the collapse? Do we run away and start over somewhere else? Or do we get real serious right now about owning our future? Here's 3 ways to start gaining freedom for yourself today. 1, eliminate your debt. You can't be free if you're chained to payments. Own income-producing assets. Stop trading time for money. Build leverage. Fortify your mindset, because the real war is for your attention, so guard it well. Because in the end, whether it's Trump, Biden, Elon, or someone new, the cavalry is not coming. It's up to you. So stay alert, stay steady, and stay free. If you want to talk more about this, join me on Patreon. I'd love to see you.
The switch up
Why
is
the
insane.
FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself. We've released the names.
We're
right?
about that.
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this, do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or
Yes.
do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on?
Yes.
Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds. Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you?
Yes.
If it exists.
All of this information coming out now, really what's not coming out now, just shows you that everybody's on the same fucking team. And honestly, Candace is probably right. It's because there's ties to you know where, and that's why they're not releasing this information. Oh yeah, you guys saw we're still sending more weapons to Ukraine, right? We really fall for the same trap every time.
You're saying that Pam Bondi said on camera, we have a client list.
On the White House lawn.
I've seen the client list.
Yes.
And then yesterday, she's saying there's no client list.
There's no client list. And there was no systematic blackmail. That actually might be the most preposterous line in the document.
The whole thing that this tape shows that he didn't kill himself is like a joke. But worse than that, it's a joke that we all get. Like, they're not fooling anybody. So I feel like we're at a dangerous point now.
Yeah, I agree, because the lie is more it's not, the lie at this point is not even part of trying to convince any of this is true.
Yes.
The lie is a signal to everybody else involved in the scheme that to the ultimate ends, the United States government will go to protect all of you.
Yes.
And that's the for
Man,
what
is that smart.
purpose?
Can you say that again? Okay,
Yes.
so it's a signal.
The lie is not for you and me. The lie is for those implicated to say, no matter what, we will protect you. And then we have to start asking the question, why? As in, what is the purpose?
Epstein, you have to hear this. Okay, here we go. August 10th of 2019. We got you the exact date. The President of the United States retweeted a story about the fact that Epstein had passed in a federal prison and that the Clintons might have had something to do with it, insinuating that Bill and Hillary Clinton might have unalived Jeffrey Epstein while in prison. Okay, that's where it all starts. Short time later, he started using a hashtag Clinton body count. Okay, the president of the United States. And it seems as if he started this whole thing to somehow throw mud on the Clintons. That's what it started as. He really wanted to blame them and do something on their behalf, okay? However, what started happening was D'Souza and some Lynn Payton, all these other MAGA influencers started using hashtag Clinton body count, and it started to pick up steam. So now we're in 2020, and we've got these MAGA influencers now digging deeper into the story of Epstein. And they already believe that there's a deep state and that the wealthy get cover up and get special treatment for crimes they commit. And this guy, Epstein, who, yes, is a scumbag, totally fit into that. And they started finding out that he might have had a client list and a blackmail list because of the way he had things set up. So these MAGA influencers started talking about the protection of these high profile people in the United States getting special treatment, and that this Epstein guy we had to have all the information on him or we wouldn't uncover this deep state. So this is where Kash Patel came in, and this Dan Bongino guy. They were influencers, podcasters, and they really leaned into it. Now, as we all know, they're DOJ and FBI, but they started talking about unearthing the files. Donald Trump never talked about unearthing the files. He only tried to blame the Clintons. And then he shut up until now. And you know how I know that? Because I searched the internet and I wanted to see how many times Donald Trump talked about Epstein since his first little tweet or retweet in August of 2019. And it was 0 times. He stopped talking about it until the other day when he was like, who keeps talking about this? We're over this creep. We don't have anything to say. There's nothing here. Don't look. Okay. That's the last time, 2019, when he tried to blame the Clintons, and then a couple of days ago. Now, you might be asking, why does this catch on with them so bad? A couple of things are really important. The fact that he died in a federal prison, this Epstein guy, created suspicion for a lot of people. My goodness, you would think in such a prison there was, protection and whatnot. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is there is no doubt that Trump's retweets in 2019 of a conspiracy of a sort definitely fueled and put the spotlight on this case. And so, ironically, he's the one that started it all. He brought it up in 2019, and he's the one that can't shut it up. And finally, MAGA's distrust of all the institutions, this just fueled their distrust. And there you have it. That is the reason why MAGA is so obsessed with this case, because of Trump. Ironic, isn't it?